Okay, so this week they want us to add a good bit to the program we did last week. And what we're going to do is take that code and add to it a menu system. And then we'll have two options. We can have our guess the number like we've been doing, or we'll have our computer guess the number for us. All right, so we're going to start looking at how to break that up. And first, let's look at what our menu should look like and what we expect to get out. All right, so we have three options in our menu. You guess the number, the computer guesses the number, and exit. Okay, so I'm going to start with the program I had last week. And I'm going to use the week 6 lab as an example to help me set this up in a modular fashion. All right, so I'm going to start up here, and this will be my functions. All right, and I'm eventually going to have, this will be one of my functions. All right, and down here I'll need to, actually I want to come down from there and start a main section of code. And I'm going to define main. All right, so I'm going to have to move some things around. I'm also going to copy, not that part, I got a final message. I want this part. It's going to go down below my final message, and that's the end of my program. All right. So I'm going to copy some of this stuff down to my main, but I wanted to leave part of it up here, so I got to kind of play around with how I'm going to do that. And I haven't done it, so we may have to do some troubleshooting here, and we may get some things wrong, but we'll kind of see the process of using two examples of how coding works and being able to use those to build one program or a new program. Okay, so I do want my program to continue to start off with my opening message and asking for a choice. So I'm going to take this little bit here and bring it down inside of my main. I don't know why those didn't indent. Okay, so again, we'll set up our choice. We're coming in. This is the first message they'll see. Now, after we do this, we use our loop and we'll create our display menu. In fact, because I'm in there, I see what I'm doing here. So you have to bear with me because I'm trying to transfer two pieces of logic at one time. I don't need that in there because I already have this here. So while I'm inside of there, I'll do my display menu. So welcome to the game. Come on. And then here's my menu. And after they input their menu, then I'm going to use this to check their input. And since I'm using choice down here, I'm going to change this to again. And that way, I don't have to worry about changing my choice down here and all of this. Okay, I do have to increase the indent on this. All right, so reread in the choice. If it's equal to 1, all right, we'll create a function called, I'm going to make mine, oops, called you guess. And my other one's going to be called computer guess. Okay, then I don't have a 3. Well, I don't have a 4. But I do want to use my again, yes or no for my choice 3. All right, so I've now pretty much modified my menu choices to call these functions if that's the user's choice. All right, so now we have to go up and create our 3 functions. We need a display menu, a uGuess, and a computer guess. This is our main code right here. Okay, so we'll do our display menu. And again, if I already have something written, I'm not going to turn around and write it again. I'm going to use that code and change it. I know it works, so that way I don't have to retest it. Man, my computer fight. It does not want to do what I tell it to do sometimes. Which game do you want to play? And our first game is you guess the number. Computer guesses your number. And then I can get rid of that. And I can also get rid of this because this went down to my lower part. And I can now define this as you guess, because this is the program that we wrote that guess the user's, you know, the user tries to guess the number. All right, so I've put all of that inside of here, so that should still work. Now that I call it, I just have to call it you guess. So now I have 2 of my 3 functions written, display menu and you guess. And we're going to give it a run to see if it works. Okay, it says my main is not defined. It went all the way down to thank you. All right, so let me make sure I didn't do. And actually, I don't need that there. Oh, shoot. I got a backspace. All of my code. Or back tab, yeah. And you can select it all and tab it over, but it does not back tab for some reason. It deletes it when you hit backspace and goes the wrong way when you hit back tab. All right, now I think I've got it. Let me try it again. If not, it'll let me know. All right, I think that thank you was, I'm not sure where that thank you's coming from. Let me close out and try to run it again. Because I shouldn't be getting thank you till the end. All right, let me try again. I am getting thank you in there somehow. I have to play with that in a second and see. All right, so we've only written one section of this, which is the guess the number. So let's hit 1. And we did get an error, so we'll go to you guess name, add item is not defined. Okay, so I had to come back and change the way I did my call down here in my main. I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. I guess I wasn't. We're going to call you guess. And I just figured out why I'm getting the print in the beginning. So I got to move that print statement over 1 line, and that should make that not print in the beginning. And I'm going to get rid of all this white space and tab it over again. And now I can see it lines up with my while. Okay, so I'm going to give that a run. Okay, choice 1. Please guess a number between 1 and 10. It's 4. I'm going to go with 5. That should be too high. 1 would be too low. A would give me no letters only, just numbers. 12. So all my old stuff is working. Now I'm going to guess it. I got it in 3 guesses. So I was not counting letters and 2 high as guesses. They had 3 valid guesses. and then it goes back to the top of my menu. Okay. I'm going to check my exit. All right, so that works. All right, now we have to edit and make it so that the computer can guess instead of the user guessing. So I'm going to copy my uguess and paste it down here, and then scroll back up and start editing it. So this one is not uguess, but it is computer guess. Okay, so now my number is going to be the number that my, all right, computer is trying to guess. So I'm going to pull that in here. Hang on, let me change my logic because I want this to stay the same. All right, but now my num is, and I may have to reverse this, but my num is the number that the computer is guessing, or its attempted guess, and guess is the number that's trying to be guessed. All right. So in this case, yes, I will change this around because now me and my computer. Guess, well, guess is not equal to my num. Okay, and I'm still going to print out my guess here. Oh no, I won't need that until I get it from the user. All right, the user's not going to enter a guess. Get number from user for computer to guess. Please enter a number between 1 and 10 for the computer to guess. Okay, so we're going to know what that number is. We don't need to print it. All right, we still want to make sure they entered a number between 1 and 10. So we are still going to check and see if guess is between 1 and 99 to make sure it's a number, an ASCII number between 1 and 10. Then I'm converting my guess into a number, and now I'm going to make sure it's a number between 1 and 10. All right, now's where I'm going to change, because now that I've determined that it is a valid number between 1 and 10, now is when I want to declare my random number. And I have to change the order on all of these, but that's if my num is less than guess, print too low. If my num is greater than guess, print too high, and yet we're still incrementing there. If guess is equal to num, then we'll break. All right, and instead of you guessed it, the computer guessed it in however many guesses. All right, that should work. Now I gotta give it a try. All right, so let me try option 2. I already started out bad. Okay, so I used my num, so I do have to go up here and declare my num, and just for now set it equal to 0. I don't know why I have guesses at 1. Guesses should start out at 0 and we increment it once they guess. Okay, so let me try that again. All right, so I got something off somewhere because it did not ask me to input a number. Oh, that's why I dingbat. Okay. Because guess and my num are the same, so it never goes through the loop. You probably noticed that as I set that variable. Let's make my number 12 then, so it's out of range to start with, and it'll get reassigned right here, so we don't have to worry about it. All right, let me try to run that again. All right, enter a number between 1 and 10 for the computer to guess. I'm going to go with 6. And I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting here. Okay, so I had to make a couple changes. And what I did was I moved my while loop. So I had to move the while down to here. And I actually need to take it out up here. Alright, other than spacing, I don't think I did anything differently there. I put it in between these two statements. Oh, and I put in this print statement that's just telling me how many guesses they're on. In fact, I want to change this to say guess number guesses, and then I actually want a space here, and I want to see the actual number that the computer is guessing, which is my num. Caps lock zone. My num. All right, so it'll tell me the guess number and what they're guessing, so I can kind of see it as I'm going through to try to troubleshoot. All right, so I did pull it out and put it in this other program, and now I'm gonna have to backspace everything. So give me a second. Okay, so I just changed my indentation, lined everything up, and ran it again, and it looks like it's pretty much going right, except for guesses is starting at 0, so I guess that's why I started guesses at 1. And I remember telling myself that the other day. That's weird that it guessed 3 twice, but I'm using a random number generator, so that's how randomness goes. All right, now I'm going to take this piece of code and put it back in my main piece of code and make the changes back over here to computer guess, because over here I was just playing with it. All right, so let me line these two up side by side, and I'll change where I put my loop. Which is supposed to go in between here. Yes. All right, now we'd start indenting everything, but we have to get rid of this and unindent everything. So I'm going to start pulling all of this back. And I'm going to get to that group. I don't have to pull it back. All right, so here I should be able to stop pulling it back. And if I still want to see my print in there, I can always copy this print that I created over here and put it in back over in my main code. And I'm looking to see if my whiles and my else's. No, I think this has to come up under my if here, and it's not. So I'm going to bring that one back. Yeah, now they're lined up. That should line up with the first if here. Else, print no numbers. All right. I think we're ready. Let's give it a whirl. Number 2, enter a number to guess. All right. The computer guessed it in 3 guesses, which it usually does. Oh, that's what I forgot to do, is change guesses back to 1. Okay, and I think we're good. Do your test cases and screenshots so you have one for each menu option. Menu option 1, and then your menu option 2. Wow, it took it a minute to guess it that time.